It's time now for the Athlete of the Week, and it's brought to you by Diamond Point and Sauk Center here on Midmnsports. And with us today is a Sauk Center athlete. This is Anthony Marsh. Well, Anthony, let's start out with who's in your family. Can you tell us?
I have my dad, Luke, my mom, Stephanie, and I have a little sister, Olivia.
All right. Are they able to get to a lot of events?
Yeah, my parents make most of my games.
I like to ask athletes, how important is that for you, for mom and dad to be there?
For me personally, it doesn't really change much because I'm more focused on what I'm doing while I'm there. But I know it means a lot to them to come to everything, so I guess it's good for me too.
Yeah, do you see that with your teammates as well, that you would encourage parents and relatives to show up?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing to come watch your kids play their sport. They know they're not going to be in high school forever, and some of them aren't going to go off into college and continue their careers. So I think it's good to watch them while they can.
So what other activities are you in, and we'll talk about that.
I'm in swimming and track too.
All right. So swimming, I'm curious, how did you get going with that?
I started competitive swim in like third grade and liked it and just kept going from there.
You know, because again, what I want to touch on too with football is weight training. Do you do a lot of that?
I do, yeah. I like to make the weight room whenever I can.
Yeah, so give us a typical workout for you and with your teammates, and how do you see that kind of improving and evolving here for Sauk Center?
So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday this summer for everyone I could go to. I didn't miss one for I think 4 months. And we went and we lifted. We had a different program every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'd do the program for 2 weeks, and then we'd switch every Monday for Wednesday, Friday. We'd have a different exercise, and we did that throughout the whole time. It really depended upon the week. Some weeks we were doing more explosive training. Some weeks we were more focused on strength or endurance. So it really depended upon what we all did.
So give me an example of, say, when you were a freshman, what did you weigh?
When I was a freshman, I think I weighed like 140.
Okay, and as the years went on, then how did weight training help you gain weight and muscle?
Well, being in there, you put on more muscle, lose some fat, and just get stronger. And when you get stronger, you're going to weigh more.
But with swimming, though, too, you can't get too bulky, can you?
You're not supposed to, but I'm really not too worried about it because unless I get like bodybuilder big, it's not going to really affect what I do. I think that lifting weights as much as I can is really going to help me. Because with the more muscle I'm going to have, the stronger I'm going to be to move myself through the water.
As you talk about the weight room here at the Sauk Center, is there somebody in there that's instructing you?
Yeah, normally we have our, I don't know if he's really a lifting coach for us, but we have Curtis Crump. He helps out with defense on the football team too, and he's just a big motivator in there for us, gets us all going, making sure we're doing all the right things.
I wanted to bring him up with you because he's a new addition to the football team, and I see him on the sideline. I would say one thing, he's fired up.
He is fired up. I love that.
Yeah. What does he bring to the team and to you then personally?
Fire. He gets us going. He gets us motivated. I know in the past years I've been in football, our other coaches are pretty laid back. They don't get too riled up about things, but Crump, he gets us going, he gets us fired up, and I think it's great.
How would you describe yourself as a football player? Just describe your running style and what you try to accomplish out there. What would you say?
I just try to be fast and explosive.
Yeah, because that is your game, your speed.
Yep.
And as we talk about weight training, is there something that you can do then personally to try to improve on your speed?
I guess just get my legs stronger. The stronger you're going to be, the faster you can move yourself.
Do you find then too that being a track athlete, are there certain techniques that you're trying to do to become a better runner?
Not so much. I guess it's just more of the constantly running part of it, no more than focusing on how you run.
It seems to me, first of all, you have to have some natural ability, do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and you've got that, but then again, too, you build on that, and how have you been able to build on that?
Just by working out. I try to keep my body in pretty good shape, going to the weight room, staying in 3 sports, which all work on different muscle groups pretty much. And I just try to keep myself very physically active.
Now, let me say though, you mentioned 3 sports. You had a 4th.
I did. I joined cross country this fall when we weren't going to have football.
Yes, you did. I saw you run. What was that like for you?
Terrible. It was not fun.
Now, why is that?
I'm a sprinter. I'm fast. I can't run for very long, though. I get tired out. I cramp up. It's not good.
Yeah, I saw you down at Morris and running with Jackson Fisher.
Yep.
Okay, and everybody else is about like 120 pounds and, they're runners. And
Yeah.
here comes you two guys. It was quite a sight. You had the look on your face about halfway through like, oh man, we're only halfway here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But was it worth, going?
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad I did it. I've got a lot of friends who are in cross country. It was great to hang out with them. I think it was a great experience. I gained a lot of respect for the sport.
Yeah, I bet you did. It's kind of far, isn't it?
It's a long ways.
Yeah, okay.
It's a long ways.
So on the swimming team, what do you do?
I sprint there too.
Okay.
I swim 350 free as an event. I swim a 50 free in the medley, 50 free in the relay, and then I swim the open 50 free, and then I swim the 100 breaststroke.
So would you consider those are, I guess I don't know that much about swimming, are those kind of a strength stroke?
Maybe. I guess with the breaststroke, you need a lot of strength in your legs. It's all about the leg movement in the breaststroke, and then you have to explode your arms forward to keep you gliding forward. And then the freestyle is it's just all speed and power.
Mm-hmm. Is it a type of a thing too when you're out there racing, especially for swimming? Do you get a sense of when you're doing well and when you're not, and what's the difference?
You can kind of feel it. It's different from running, because running, you can kind of feel yourself going through the air, but water, you can feel everything. I don't know if you've ever been in a pool or anything and just felt around in the water. You can feel how your hands catch it, and sometimes your hands are just slipping through the water, and some races you're really catching it and you can feel yourself flying.
So again, getting into track then too, that as you compete, and swimming as well, when you're racing against somebody, do you see a lot of the same people?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your mindset when you do that? Do you look off to the side, or are you just focused on what you're doing?
I just focus on what I'm doing.
So when you line up for a race, what is your focus? What's going through your head?
Tunnel vision. I want to win.
Okay.
I want to win.
And that's about it, huh? How is, let me ask you too about just the program in itself, and start with swimming, then into track. How are things growing here for Sauk Centre?
Well, with swimming, we're combined with Melrose. So we have a fairly large team, but we're kind of seeing the numbers drop. I'd like to see a lot more kids come out for swimming. But we've got, basketball and wrestling. Kids are interested in that. Nobody wants to swim. But it's a great sport. I encourage everyone to get into swimming. It's great for you. It's hard. I think everybody who wants to do it, you'd get a lot of respect from people who joined it. It's not easy.
Yeah, I would have to say too, the swimming coaches, and again with the coach Nathan Meyer over Melrose and Coach Schreiner, those guys are great, aren't they?
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you see with the track athletes then too? What would you say to younger athletes to encourage them to do that as well?
I think track is a great sport. You learn a lot about what you can do. Because if you're fast, then you can be a sprinter. If you're not that fast, maybe you can go running, or for longer distances like the mile or the 800 or the 2 mile. Or if you're strong, you can throw. It's just, there's just such a wide variety of events in track that really anybody can do anything in it.
You seem to me, as I'm talking to you, that you're a good leader. Do you consider yourself a good leader?
I like to try to lead. I think I'm a fairly good leader. I like to try to, be a physical leader. Like I'm in the weight room. I want other guys to be there. I'm not going to yell at you to get in there, but I try to just lead by example.
Let me bring up an example of, I'm curious about this. Say, for example, you're in a football game and you have long touchdown runs, and let's say there's 3 of them called back for holding. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay, you come back into the huddle. What do you say?
Let's get another one.
Just try to encourage the guys.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. As long as we can get back in the end zone, I don't care how long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how many get called back, as long as we can get back in there.
They need a good 8 yards. And they're going to run. Left side for Marsh. He comes, steps through, stepping high on the move, sprinting down that left sideline. He will score. Touchdown for Sauk Centre.
What is the attitude with the football these days? Because again, you've gone through some years where, I don't know how it's gone for you personally, but where do you see this program going?
Well, we just got our first win in a while, so I think it can only go up. I think we're going to keep winning. The guys are fired up. We want to win. We got Melrose here on Friday. We haven't beat them since 2008. 2008, we haven't beat Melrose, our biggest rival. I think it's time. We're going to beat them. We have to keep winning.
Mm-hmm. I like that because I see that with the team and the guys right now, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, and again, it's just something that keeps on growing, I think, but it takes, I want to bring this up too, did you learn from other players that were older than you, and if you mention any of those guys through the sports that you play, what did that mean to you?
Yeah, I had a lot of guys that I looked up to when I was younger, and they kept me going. Like in swimming, I had a guy named Shane Winters. He joined his junior year, and I was a 7th grader that year, and we were both around the same skill level, but he was quite a bit older than me. So I always looked up to him and I always tried to beat him. And we'd race at practices and we'd race at meets. And then finally our last meet of my 8th grade year, his last meet ever, it was conference, and I finally beat him. And then I went to sections and he had to stay home. And it was an awesome feeling that, you know, you go in there and you battle with a guy every day and then you finally do it.
And so, again, as you talked about being a leader too, do you sense that then some of the other athletes are looking at you and you're aware of that? And what do you try to do with that?
I really hope so, because, you know, I want my spot, but I want, you know, if I can motivate somebody else to be better than me and take my spot, I think that'd be awesome.
Excellent. I like to hear this stuff from you because, again, do you feel that your other teammates are doing that as well?
Yeah, we're all competitors. Everybody on that team hates losing. We all want to be the best person on that field.
Excellent. Well, you keep that up, okay? So in the future now that you're a senior finally, can you believe you're a senior?
No, it's crazy.
Yeah. I got to ask you, too, with everything that's going on, let's start with school. First of all, what are you interested in school? We want to know that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, subjects and things like that.
Well, I really like math. I like math a lot. Not too big on science. English is but I've always liked math. I've always been pretty good at math.
So now with distant learning and all that kind of stuff and the constant changes, how are you personally taking care of that, and how is it going here at school?
It's going fine for me. I've never really had too much of a problem in school, so I'm still plugging along, but it's definitely different. It's weird not seeing my friends every day except for at football, but it's just different. It doesn't feel like school.
Mm-hmm. And with athletics too, is that going fine? I mean, everybody's adjusted?
Yeah, I think everybody for the most part's adjusted. Since we had it last fall, or last spring I should say, where we were completely distanced with no sports, I think this is definitely an upgrade from that.
Yeah, I mean, I realize everybody, this is not a good situation, but I suppose what else do you do? At least you get to play, right?
At least we get to play.
Yeah.
That's just it.
So after this then, you're done and you're out of high school then, what is the future for you?
I'd like to go either run track or play football at college someplace.
Good for you. Have you visited some places?
I haven't made any visits yet, no.
All right. Well, you can't see enough, you know.
Yeah.
Get out there and, good luck with that. Well, as I watch you play football and watch you on the track, you have speed. That's the thing, you know, and you have to use that to your advantage, and that's what they're looking for too. Mm-hmm. And you also seem very durable. Would you consider that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to jinx you here, but have you had injuries?
No, not really.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that's with the weight training though too, right?
Yeah, for
Keeps
sure.
you strong. All right. Well, good luck the rest of the way. It's been fun watching you play, and we'll see how it goes, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. That's Anthony Marsh. He is the Athlete of the Week, and it's brought to you by Diamond Point and Sock Center here on Mid-Minnesota Sports.